Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back to Swiss, Dragons of Tarkir, Fate Reforged. We're going to take the Sunscorch Regent. Other good picks in here, Mistiff Kieran, Gurmag Drowner, but not quite on par with this amazing 5-drop dragon. So let's Dragon Slam it. Follow-up pick. No notable white pick. So what's the best cards? We've got maybe the Forerunners. This might be the time to try it out. It's probably early enough. I've been meaning to play this because, like I said, I always play against it, and it's always really good. I think I'm gonna take the Forerunners. There's a couple good green cards in here, but this seems like a pretty good opportunity to take Forerunners. Plus, I actually like white-red, so. All right. No good red or white pick? That's weird. Well, I guess we got to take something. I like the Spell Fist. I guess I can take the Spell Fist here. It's kind of a weak pack. Anyway. I think Spell Fist is actually the best card, too. Alright, well, not super happy with my start, but ooh, alright. So we can take a second Forerunners. We can take Enduring Victory. I'm okay taking Enduring Victory. It is removal, after all. And of any of the 3 cards I have, I think Sunscorch Regent's the one I want to play the most. So cutting white makes sense to me. Taking another Forerunners could be fine here too. But like I said, I would prefer to play white if at all possible. So let's let's take a removal spell here. I'm okay with that. I actually like Enduring Victory. Okay, so now we have the choice of Student of Ojtai, Rending Volley, Artful Maneuver. I guess we've got Silumgar Spell Eater. Maybe blue-white is something we can do. Student's a fine card, though. Pairs reasonably well with Sunscorch Regent in that, it's a good card for buying you time. And Sunscorch Regent is definitely a card that wins you the game in time. So I think the best card is Silumgar Spell Eater. Yeah, Spell Eater's pretty awesome. Student is good too. I'll go Spell Eater. That might be a sign. 5th pick. Yeah, and then we get Drowner 6th pick. That might be all I need. There's also a Scion of Ugin in here. And a Sandstorm Charger. But yeah, Drowner. Drowner all day, baby. Okay. I think we're taking Evolving Wilds. There is Blessed Reincarnation, though. I mean, this card's not insane. It does things, but I guess it works well with like a Spell Fist. I'll just take Evolving Wilds. I might find Bomby Spell I want to splash. Ooh, good white picks. That's good. I think I like Herald more than Jamoka Warrior. I'd rather have a 2/2 Vigilance that gives other things to things rather than a 3/1. There's actually quite a few things that kill 3/1s. Jamoka Warrior's good. I'm not trying to downplay it, but Herald of Jamoka I think is actually better. Alright, well at least we're tabling white cards. That's a good sign. So I think we take Tactician. Alright, I guess we can take Skywise Teachings if it's tabling. Not looking that good right now, but it's still early. Could pay off. I mean, it's a cool card when it does pay off. Alright, I guess we take on color card, but it's not really striking me as a Glaring Aegis deck. Center Soul to protect Sunscorch Regent I think is going to be better for us than Reduce in Stature. Alright, cut blue. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to be a blue-white deck. We saw a late enough Spell Eater and Drowner and a late enough white picks where I think we're going to be able to make blue-white work fairly well. Let's just get Glaring Aegis out of here. This really does not strike me as a Glaring Aegis deck. I don't think we want to be beat down. I think we want to be tempo. Well, I guess you could argue Glaring Aegis is a tempo card, but maybe I'm thinking of a different kind of tempo deck. One that's like, do things on my opponent's turn, like leave up instant speed spells and counter spells. Like leave up a Spell Eater or leave up a Sinner Soul to protect. Or leave up like a morph, some other morph we pick up, or Skywise Teachings. You get it. You understand what I'm saying. Okay. So we have Ojutai's Summons, Silumgar Scorn with a dragon. I actually like Silumgar Scorn. There's Vulturous Haven in here, which is of course good. Dromoka Warrior Lightwalker. Both solid 2-drops. I think Summons might be the best. Summons is going to be the sickest with Skywise Teachings too. I mean, I would say Summons is a strict Haven Tactician upgrade too. I value 2-drops quite a bit, but I think I'm going to take the Summons here. Hope to table Silumgar Scorn, Warrior, or Lightwalker, or Evolving Wilds. Any of those would be good, but let's open her up with Summons here. Okay, Spellfist number 2. There's also Gudul Lurker. Herald of Dromoka, Lightwalker again. I'm kind of feeling Spellfist. Maybe Lurker's better. I'm trying to think if Lurker's better for our deck, though. I mean, it's straight up unblockable, but Spellfist can, like, block reasonably well. I kind of want to build, like, a Spellfisty Skywise Teachings deck. Does that make sense? Might be too greedy, but we already have a couple rebound spells, which, as you imagine, is very good with Skywise Teachings. Spellfist is like a good early blocker, sort of. Gudul Lurker's probably better, isn't it? I guess I take Lurker. All right, Ojutai's Breath, Surge of Righteousness. I guess we're doing okay on playables right now. I mean, Ojutai's Breath pairs the best with Skywise Teachings, Elusive Spellfist. But Surge of Righteousness is a pretty amazing sideboard card. I think I'm taking Surge. I feel like I'm not going to end up short on playables. And though Ojutai's Breath looks like it's pretty decent in this deck, Surge of Righteousness is just an amazing sideboard card to have. Okay, options now. Probably Anticipate. There's a Dragonloft Idol. We only have one so far. Anticipate's awesome. I love this card. Pairs well with our deck too, so we'll take it. Alright, Summons number 2. Probably just getting Windmill Slammed here. That really is going to make the Skywise Teachings more playable, I think. Alright. I think Tactician is already... Well, I don't know. We'll see. I might have to end up playing 18 lands, but see if that has to happen or not. Okay, so now we have Artful Maneuver, once again, pairing well with Skywise Teachings and Spellfist. We also have Student of Ojutai, though, which is also going to pair well with all of our... Like, Student of Ojutai into Ojutai's Summons is pretty awesome. I think I want this. I want to block. Hopefully table an Artful Maneuver, but I guess that's likely not going to happen. But I think this deck kind of wants a Student of Ojutai. Ooh. And a Silumgar Sorcerer? Jeez. And a Sandcrafter Mage? This is our pack. I think I want the Sorcerer. I just love this card. Like, Sorcerer is an actual way to beat Breeze Dancer, too. Breeze Dancer's pretty bomby, which I like, but Sorcerer is just so good. I love this card. I gotta go Sorcerer. Counterspell that's also a flash flying blocker or attacker. It's too versatile. Just too versatile to pass. Alright. I mean, there is Great Teacher's Decree, which probably is pretty sick with Some Ojtai summons. This deck's coming together kind of nicely. Otherwise, there's a Lightwalker. It's pretty tough to make Great Teacher's Decree work. It's also Contradict, but we are certainly good on the 5-drops. I guess I take Lightwalker. It doesn't look that good in here, though. I guess it has some synergy with Herald of Dromoka. But I don't have a lot of ways to... I've only got a couple ways to put a counter on it. Maybe I can change that, but Great Teacher's Decree just... Ooh, we did table the Silumgar Scorn. Oh, I guess we only have one dragon, so maybe it makes more sense to just take the Dromoka Warrior. Probably does. Well, all right. We're starting to look way more beat down now. Maybe I do play Glaring Aegis. Let's hate the... Well, I guess I can take Ancestral Statue. We passed some reducing stature, so someone may be playing those. Or they table. Maybe we can play it. It's not bad in our deck. We don't have, like, any removal. We have an Enduring Victory. That's it. Otherwise, it's Territorial Rock, which I don't need, I guess. Spider Silk Net, sure. So I have a pack to go. Looks like we're definitely going to have enough for a deck. What does our deck need? I think that's what we got to establish here. We're kind of good on finishers. That's not worth anything, right? Well, it's worth 2 tickets, and it seems like a card worthy of splashing. I have the Evolving Wilds, too. I mean, it likely takes games over. Otherwise, Valorous Stance is probably a really easy card to get. That would be good for us, but I'm going to splash for Warden. It's a really powerful card. Temur War Shaman passed? Holy jeez. I think we're taking Soul Summons. There's a Rite of Undoing, which I hope we table, but Soul Summons looks great in this deck with Skywise Teachings, Student of Ojtai, Spellfest. Alright. Yeah. Alright, Sandblast. Definitely getting slammed here. Huge Stone Retainer looks pretty playable with all these 2-drops. And Jeskai Sage would be fine with our 2 exploit guys. But you can't pass it. Sandblast? I wouldn't dare. You still have a Dragon Claw? Well, geez. Am I just going to splash all these green cards that I can actually use their abilities? Maybe. Why not? Dragon Claw is awesome. I love this card. Alright, let's cut. This is the weirdest. This is a weird deck. Oh, there's another Sandblast in here, too? Jeez. Dragon Claw might be worth the splash, though. Every turn, steal a creature? That's pretty good. Otherwise, a second Sandblast. I'll go for the cooler play. Alright, Dragon Bell Monk. I think we actually have to get a normal pick now. So I could do Right Into Being. That actually seems like the best in our deck. Dragon Bell Monk's good, but Right Into Being is going to work. I kind of want to make Skywise Teachings work quite a bit. These Lightwalkers look fairly unexciting. I would prefer to not play an 18-land deck, which makes me want to cut some of our top end. But if we're going 3-color and we have some mana sinks, maybe we do want to do 18 lands. That's tough. I think we're taking Right Into Being here regardless, so let's just take it. Ooh, wow. That is sick. That's a late light form. Well, we're slamming light form and playing it. I'm kind of at a loss of what we're cutting right now. This is interesting. Our deck looks great. Soul Summons number 2, I think, is certainly getting the go-ahead here. Pressure Point, though, is pretty good with Skywise Teachings, but Soul Summons is Like, at this point, I think I'd cut the Lightwalkers. Yeah. Why is there 3 cards listed there? I only grabbed 2. That was weird. But let's take the Soul Summons and cut... I don't know yet. Maybe reduce in stature. What's my removal? Sandblast, Enduring Victory. That is pretty low. But, I mean, we got to play Soul Summon. If we're playing Skywise Teachings, we're definitely playing Soul Summons. Alright, could take Pressure Point. I might find a way to fit it in here. I don't know how yet, but this deck looks fun. This looks like a good Skywise Teachings deck, too, which is always a welcome sight. I think Tactician's getting cut. If we're cutting the Lightwalkers, let's cut the Tactician. I'm not convinced we're going to play... Maybe I play Pressure Point over Reduce in Stature. I'd probably rather just cantrip than tap something down. Maybe, possibly. I can sideboard into that. Let's take the Cleric for sideboard. There is a Jeskai Rune Mark, and we have some white permanents, but I'm going to not do that. All right, Rite of Undoing did table, so we can take that, sideboard it. Interesting. Take the Cliffs. We don't have any red spells I care about, but I don't mind taking lands away from opponents. Our deck looks sweet. Second Pressure Point. Guess. I don't know. Probably don't need it. Alright, collateral damage. There's our red splash. Neither of these matter. Sure. Alright, our deck looks sweet. This looks like a really fun deck. Just splashing 2 green rares like it's not a thing. Evolving Wilds is going to help with that. I guess we want probably... Man, I don't know. I was going to say 4 sources of green, including Evolving Wilds, but... That might be excessive. These are the coolest splashes I've ever had, though, where it's like just green on the top end, and then their abilities get like way good with my base colors. I don't think I want to do 18 lands, I'll tell you that much. All right. I mean, I can. I just don't like it. You know how I feel about 18 lands. Makes me uncomfortable. I mean, we do have some card draw, which could help to mitigate the flooding. What would be my... Skywise Teachings looks phenomenal in this deck, by the way. Just phenomenal. 12 non-creature cards. That's insane. So Skywise Teachings is like the main argument for running 18 lands, just because it's such a nice mana sink. But how many rebound cards did we get with it? Because then you don't have to worry about it being a mana sink as much. Like Ojtai Summon Skywise Teachings is just insane. You just spit out 2/2s all day. We have Sinner Soul as a rebound effect as well. Pressure Point. Maybe Pressure Point gets the boot. If I'm going to do 18 lands, I could ditch Pressure Point. I could do that. And really the only... So what's my main arguments for why I would want to run 18 lands? Okay, so our let's talk about the big mana sinks in this deck. The big mana sinks are Warden, Dragonclaw's a mana sink, Spell Eater, Skywise Teachings. That's not that many, but on top of that, what are our card draw effects? We've got Drowner, right into being, sort of. That's about it. Interesting. All right, I might just ditch Pressure Point, I guess, and then play 18 lands, just to make sure I can cast my green cards. And I guess Evolving Wilds... Well, I was going to say counts as 2 lands, but that's not really true. I think I could get away with 17 lands in this deck, but I'm willing to try 18 with this one. Just because I would get frustrated if I played a Skywise Teachings and I wasn't even able to do anything. I have 4 mana. I can't even cast the spells that work best with it. I don't know. It's tough. I think it's mostly because I'm 3-color and I have mana sinks that make me strongly consider the 18 lands here. But, and the card draw. I forgot to anticipate. Anticipate, Drowner, Right into Being are 3 ways to at least find spells. I don't know. Might come back to haunt me. We'll find out. So if I went like this, 4 green for 2 spells, but 8 and 8 is probably good to cast everything, I would think. My curve is not that high. Man. But, alright, so I guess it's like, how much do I want Pressure Point in here? Like, Pressure Point just feels like a card that's easy to cut, if that makes sense. It does. It feels like, would I rather get potentially mana screwed and have a Pressure Point in my deck, or not really worry about mana screw ever and not have a Pressure Point in my deck? And I don't know. I feel as though this could work better for us. Cinder Soul's only in the deck pretty much to protect Sunscorch Regent, and because it's got Rebound. Like, there's not a lot of... Well, no, I guess protecting these two is pretty important too. Never mind. Cinder Soul's good in here. I take it back. All right. I guess we're running it like this. This deck is cool looking. It really is. It's a pretty unique deck. But we'll see how it runs. Hopefully 4 green doesn't hurt us too bad, but these guys are certainly worthy of splashing. All right, let's see how this rolls.